All right, welcome in everybody. This is the state of the channel talk. We do this every year since I've been doing this every year, mainly talking about what's going on here on the Twitch side and what the plans are for 2026, the future, if you will. Today it is a wet, rainy day in SoCal. You see the blue lit screen of the TV behind me, watching USC get handled by the worst state in the country, Iowa, in football. But today, we're talking about what's going on here in the Spects TV gaming universe. This video is really going to go in two directions. It's sort of two different outcomes, sort of depending on how the next 90, 60 days, what are we at, 45 days ago, for the rest of the year, is really how things are going to shake up. For the most part, because of how sort of this year has gone and how I feel like my energy and time is going to be used in the future going into this stuff, and sort of breaking this thing down. Like I said, it's going to be two separate trains of thought here, for how content is going to be. So if you are intrigued, stick around. If not, no worries, you can click off the video and watch something else. This is going to be a little bit more informative because of the true nature of things. One, it's just me talking to the five of you, mostly, and how or where I feel like I am in the grand scheme of things, for most of it. So I'm going to start off with the first path here. I'm going to talk about the second path. The first path, I guess there's really no first, second path. It's just a matter of option A, option B. But I figured let's start with the more proactive one first. Let's start with with the first one. The first one here is understanding what I want to do content-wise with the show. And here's my sort of crux, I suppose, is when it comes to the show content in general, which is basically this channel, for the most part. I'll talk about Spects TV separately, but for Spects Gaming TV, when it comes to the show and the content I do for the show, I've shifted away from straight gameplay to more news and information. Reason being, when it comes to gameplay, in my opinion, I don't think the majority of people are probably where I'm at, which is like your all-star. You kind of flirt with legend. If I were to put the time into it, maybe World Series here and there. Here, really drop. Yeah, that's better. Kinda. But really, what it comes down to, I think, at least for me, is all right. I think I'm where the average player is when it comes to level and time. I know if I were to show my hours, I'm over 500, but that's because like I've left my PlayStation on. Like I'll be grinding and then I walk up, get away, watch something, and then it's like, oh shoot, I left it on for 3 hours. So in terms of that, I've always tried, at least especially more so this year while playing other stuff, trying to show what you can do by playing maybe a couple hours a day and sort of working on stuff. It hasn't really been pretty, but it gets the job done. And we did a lot of stuff, again, the no money spent stuff. But the thing with that is, when it comes to like the news and info, it felt like this year there wasn't a lot of nuance with it. And the reason why I say nuance is it kind of just became a rinse, wash, and repeat sort of thing. Like when it comes to content formatting, at least here, it was, you know, like, hey, this new exciting thing came out because there was new exciting stuff coming out. But now the game sort of split itself into two halves. And the reason why I'm saying what I'm talking about here is I think the problems people had with the game this year, for the first time in my 5 years of really doing this, was really a problem where I don't think it really affected the normal 5 to 9 gamer. I think it only affected the top handful % of people, and that being the shrinkage on the sliders away. All year I've been sort of saying I think this notion of evil switch hitters is more so a myth. because people want to critique and criticize stuff that they can't control. And I sort of nailed my hammer in the point when I keep seeing it. It's like, no, it's not a switch hitter thing, because every game I've played, every game I've seen, I haven't seen this multitude of switch hitters, at least as of yet. Are they going to give us a switch hitting captain? Probably not, because I think the same people would honestly whine about it. And there's been this just continual thing of constant whining on that front. And I think when it comes to that, I made a video on it. That was sort of like my video of, hey, shut the hell up. Okay, I guess. I don't remember offhand, but it was this, like, the problem, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, in that department, a lot of stuff was done insanely well. All the critiques, realistically, in terms of that stuff, is mainly just, there are a shit ton of collections that I don't think needed to be there. Personally, I think that stuff everything didn't need a goddamn collection reward. Everything didn't need a collection. For the most part. So a lot of, like, the news and info stuff just became very, very repetitive, and there's plenty of people who talk about it anyway. And me in that space just felt like it really wasn't working. And I tried to keep the videos sort of in a 3 to 4. In its hypest was 3 to 4 videos a week. Now that we're entering the slower end, you're probably gonna see 2, maybe, and even then it's probably gonna be every other week. Like, I know there's a big thing coming tomorrow. Well, I'm recording this on Saturday, but on Tuesday, tomorrow, this goes up, for retro, which we will talk about and all that. But again, it's just, there's so many people out there who are going to give it, and so many other people who are better at it, not better at it, but do more with it than I do. And it feels like my place, I don't have a place because I offer nothing new. I'm not going to be overly critiquey and be like, hey, is this guy going to be good? I guess I could be, realistically, because I think there's some things that are overlooked in the department that people just sort of accept that I would be against. I kind of did it a few years ago when I was talking about, like, anti-meta stuff, because one of the things, like, I love doing is going against that meta, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And in that comes gameplay, and I'm like, I care less about the gameplay stuff. It's 45 minutes that you condense yourself down to 20. And even if we did, like, hey, something like pitcher ditch or something to that regard, where we're headlining and focusing on pitcher, you're still taking that 45 minutes to an hour, and now it's half of it. It seems like a lot for not a lot of stuff where it's like, are people really gonna try this guy? Especially, it feels like it'd be better at the beginning of the year than later at this point, because at this point you're sticking with what you're gonna like, and you might be trying out new cards, but you're probably not. So in that respect, it's just, what are we doing? So in that regard, next year it'll probably be 2 infos, and that's probably it. Reason being, again, I'm not the biggest gameplay person, and I think when it comes to gameplay, just having to set aside X amount of time is a lot. Most games I play when I have recorded have been close to 45 minutes, and it's like, okay, we're not getting games in with the guy, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. I know we could do events, put out the event and bring the guy back in. It just feels disingenuous, because I don't think most people play events, because events suck. So we'll see. But I think going forward, if this were to continue, you're going to see really less newsy stuff, and maybe just stuff coalesce better. Again, the biggest thing is just where everything is in the ecosystem, there's not really a spot for it. And a lot of that's just on me, because I'm not doing a lot of stuff because, 1, I just don't have the time, and 2, I truthfully don't want to do it. But in that respect, I think I'm going to condense stuff down and try not to necessarily be new, like, take a step back, sort of see how things go, and then go from there. Again, just because I think there's so many other people anyway that no one's looking for me, for my opinion and stuff. Nevertheless, in terms of, like, stuff that we're going to be doing for kind of going forward, if I want to fill the time slots, I've debated doing a franchise similar to, like, what guys do with Madden. Maybe not playing the games, but sort of simming to certain points, showing you guys that process, just to show something, give this thing a little bit of life, because we're entering the dead periods, and in years prior I've uploaded other stuff that's done kind of okay, but I don't think taking that away is a good thing. So I think we might, if I do continue this or want to do something different, that'll probably be franchise or, like, Road to the Show. I really don't know. I think Road to the Show would be cool, because I could edit it into, like, this The one guy I think of when I think of Road to the Show content, if you've been around YouTube in the gaming sphere, you remember Sports Gaming Universe. He had like whole storylines for his guys. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, dude, I make a biopic with it and just release it every couple of weeks. That's one option, but for the most part, I think the idea of doing strictly news is what I'm probably gonna do, and then figure out something else in that respect. Now, for the other avenue is this. One of the things that has come more apparent to me is, as I sort of preluded to here, I know I'm doing this sentence, as I preluded to, where I think I fit and where I think this channel fits. I think when it comes to this channel and most of my career in this aspect, I've hit a ceiling and I can't break through the ceiling, and sort of looking at how I am going into this year, next year, and kind of where I want to be. The plan as of recording this is this: to call it quits at year's end. Reason for that is, again, like I've said kind of prior, is one, just sort of where I fit, two, the amount of time I've done this, and three, just the lack of want to do this. There are some reasons for it that date back a couple years and a lot last year. It's sort of why I don't stream on Twitch anymore, except very rarely. I just don't have it in me at this point to do that stuff. It's just, one, the Twitch sphere is, this is strictly streaming, I'll get to the YouTube. Strictly on the Twitch side, it's just a giant mess, and I don't want to be involved in that giant mess, especially with some of the stuff going on. And I know there are other people who feel this way too, and plus I'm not the most active on there. How I watch is I kind of just put it on and don't talk, which isn't really good. But two, I know the landscape and sort of things about it is just not worth it. I've seen a lot of bad things on Twitch, both from a third party perspective and a first party perspective, being involved in some stupid shit, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So that's kind of gone. That side's done already. So on the YouTube side, it's sort of what I preluded to before, which is, I just don't think I know where this channel fits in, where I fit in it, what I can do that's different than a lot of it. And at this point, just the growth of it sometimes just doesn't fit, which isn't a bad thing. I'm getting older. There's other stuff I want to do in my career that's not this. Doesn't mean that I necessarily might not stop making videos. It just might be, we're not going to be doing this, right? So that's sort of the other option. So option A was, hey, we're switching it up, doing something a little bit different, news and info, and then maybe I drop something else in the meantime. That might even happen anyway. But as of now, the plan is just to call it the end of the year and go from there. And for those of you, if you made it this far and you're sort of wondering about some of that stuff, it is just what it is. I'm not young. At least I don't feel young. I turned 33 at the end of the year, and a lot of it's just, I kind of look at other people, because a lot of streamers are my age, and a lot of them sort of have the same sentiment, where it's just like, I just want to do more, and if that involves this, sweet. I'm not gonna like force it. I know other people, like there are friends I've had who are older than me, former people, and they stream once a week, and they still sort of do it with a small group of people. I think that's, maybe I just switched into that role, but ultimately I don't have an answer. I don't have a clue one way or the other, but I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. Now, for the other side of it, Spects TV, sort of the same thing. That's my fault entirely. I don't play enough. I play, I just don't record, and I don't necessarily know what to do on there. It would be just a lot, and that's sort of my fault. That's always in my grand experiment, was that side of it anyway. But that is what it is. So if you made it to the end of this, about 15 minutes long, or you clicked on it, I'll probably mark it and say like, hey, here's the summary. If you don't want to watch it, you can skip to the end. Summary. More than likely, this is going to be the end. I think just me being older and me not having a lot of fresh ideas to keep up with some newer stuff. And I think where the game's going, there's plenty of people who can cover it anyway. And a lot of it too is just, this is also my fault. I just don't fit in with the community. I don't engage with the community. my ideas don't necessarily meld everybody else's. So I've kind of just hands off it. I ride into the sunset as the 33-year-old old man I am. But if you've been with me, this is in the end. There are still 45 days, and like I said, things can change. There's, I made this reservation and this caveat with when I was sort of bringing this up with my roommate. I said if certain things happen, and I can do certain things because of those dominoes being lined up, then there's no reason not to. But as of now, I'm preparing for that to happen, and we just go from there. And it's been a fun ride. I love doing content. Maybe I just jump on and edit for somebody, or something like that. I really don't know. Or maybe we switch it up entirely. The options are on the table, but like I said, I think going forward, that's gonna be the plan. Stepping away. We already did on Twitch, basically. So here's gonna be the more difficult one, or the schedule gets really drastically. So well, there's a lot of options, but I'm leaning more towards just sunset. But if you've been here for the last 5 years, you've been here for 2, 1, whatever, I really do appreciate it. I always had this desire to create stuff. I've been creating content on here for years. There's stuff going when I was in high school, which was 14 years ago, on here, and I doing mini film stuff that's still up on here, writing for stuff on here. So creating content's always been a thing for me. Editing's always been a thing for me. Like I said, maybe it just becomes a hobby that's just very lesson, but hey, one step at a time, one thing at a time. But I do just want to thank you guys for doing this. I never thought I'd have my highest grossing video, I think, is about 1.5K. I never thought that would happen to me. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I work in technology. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So in regards to that, I really do appreciate it. I had some of the coolest interactions with it, and I met some cool people, lost some cool people along the way. But if you've been around for however long, I appreciate it. Like that this fucking dumbass can do something. Oh, I lied. My most popular video has 4.3 thousand views. Never thought in a million years that would happen. I usually have a couple that do really well. I haven't had that at all this year. But hey, that, like I said, I think the game's just so. With all that being said, I really do appreciate it. Thanks for being on this stupid ride with me. Like I said, we'll keep doing what we've been doing until the end of the year. So look forward to stuff for at least the next 45-ish or so days. So with all that being said, my name is Specs. I'll see you guys all.